Thank you, Lisa, fellow Toastmasters and guests. In my wedding vows, I called my wife my partner in crime. And the Webster's dictionary definition is someone who assists in the planning or committing of a crime. It's quite literal, not what I meant. Urban Dictionary has a definition that's more appropriate, and that's someone who knows you better than you know yourself, and someone who's there for you no matter what. I'll illustrate with some of our adventures. When we were dating, she would accompany me to the bars as my wing woman. Eventually I realized that I only really wanted to spend time with her. So about a year after we were dating, I proposed. And surprisingly, she said yes. And during our engagement, in her second year of law school, she single-handedly planned our wedding by herself. I was the silent partner. About a year after being engaged, we got married. And we finished graduate school, we did some traveling, we conquered the dual job search and ended up in DC. And up until now, recently, our adventures haven't involved anything resembling a crime. A few months ago, we went house hunting with my in-laws. And this proved to be challenging for two reasons. First is that we were in the car for long stretches of time. Second, I was thirsty, and I drank 32 ounces of water in the car. By the time we got to the second house, I was going to make my move. And I identified the spot immediately. Got out of the car and I saw that the house faced a lovely wooded area in the back. So we proceeded to enter the house. We're all looking around, and I quickly went to the back of the house, outside to the deck, to admire the beautiful backyard. Unfortunately, my in-laws and the realtor noticed me admiring the beautiful backyard and joined me. But I had foreseen this possibility, and I was genuinely admiring the backyard. Fortunately, this opened up a new possibility, which is that the house was empty. So I quickly made my way back toward the house, and I signaled to my wife, I have to pee, I can't hold it any longer, I'm going to go in the house, you be the lookout. So she follows me inside, I went straight for the first floor bathroom, didn't turn on the lights. Everything's okay because my wife is on lookout. Obviously I sat down to pee because I don't want to make a mess in a house that's being shown to potential buyers. And as a wave of relief begins slowly washing over me, I hear voices. Yes, my in-laws and their realtor are done admiring the beautiful backyard and they're coming back inside the house. But I'm not worried because my wife is on lookout. Now I feel relief tinged with anxiety as the voices are getting closer. And then a moment of dread. Mind you, I'm sitting on the toilet, lights are off, and I see a pair of eyes looking right at me. It's the realtor. We make eye contact. Someone's in here. It's very feeble. She knows. She said, I didn't see anything. She runs away. The lights are off. It's okay. Where was my wife? I hear her laughing outside with the realtor. Oh yeah, Juan is in there. A little too late. I finally finish. Yes, it took a long time because it was 32 ounces of water. And the toilet won't flush. What is going on? So I turn on the lights. The water is not running. They turned off the water because the house has been on the market for a little while. More importantly, I realized that I wasn't sitting on the toilet seat, but on the toilet bowl itself, which has not been cleaned. So I leave the bathroom to confront my partner in crime. What happened? She says it all happened in slow motion. She couldn't stop it. By the time she realized what was going on, it was too late. And the realtor says, don't worry about it. I do it all the time, but we have to check if the water's running. Too late. So, in conclusion, next time you're looking at a house, you can ask the realtor if you can use the bathroom, and then do check the water. In the future, I'll think twice about drinking 32 ounces of water when I'm going to be sitting in a car for extended periods of time. I probably won't. And while my wife will always be my partner in crime, I'll think twice before asking her to be my lookout. Thank you.
Toastmasters and guests, thank you for being here for all three of our speeches. I want to congratulate Juan on his speech, my partner in crime. You did well in, he was supposed to work on humor, or knowing his sense of humor. And so you had a good lead up to the crime. And you had good movement throughout the space. And I liked how you emphasized during the very embarrassing yet relatable story of having to go to the bathroom that your wife was on the lookout. And I also liked that the twist was she was not a very good lookout and that you should find a better partner in crime. It's a very relatable story because we've all had to go to the bathroom at a very inconvenient time, and I could feel how embarrassed you must have felt. So I wonder, why was the door not closed? How did you actually make eye contact with your realtor? That is a question to be answered.
The door was closed. I left that up.
How did you make eye contact with a realtor if you're...
She opened it.
Oh, she opened the door.
Yeah. She opened it, we made eye contact, and she quickly closed it.
So there's room for improvement. There was a lot of gaps in the story that really helped with our understanding of what happened. I think walking through it step by step could have been. But it was very relatable. You had a good closing, which is the very practical tip of alerting your party that you do need to use the restroom, and it's okay. People pee in other people's houses all the time. It's not a rule that you can't. So it was a good lead up to the climax, but I felt like the climax to the kind of tip was a little weak, so you could work on that. I also felt that because you were trying to be funny, you were actually not as funny as all of the other speeches that you have given. For some reason, maybe it's the forcing the humor was the problem, or because you didn't have flexibility to insert jokes on the fly. So I think you're a very funny person, but this one, to me, was not funny. And I don't know if it's because it wasn't spontaneous or because you were too focused on trying to be funny. But I think to add some more humor into the story would have been more twists. Like you peeing on the lid would have been a lot funnier than you peeing on just the toilet bowl. It's okay to tell lies to be funny. So you could have definitely told us a lie and said you peed on the lid instead, and that would have been hilarious. So that's a lesson to all of us. Just because we're telling a story, it doesn't have to be 100% true if you are trying to make it funny or some other point. One other thing is to pace yourself. So I think in other speeches you were able to slow it down, let the joke sink in, but today it felt really rushed. So and the walking back and forth was also a little rushed. So I think, but maybe you were trying to show how badly you needed to pee, so that's why you're walking so fast. Was it? Okay. So he was walking fast because he had to pee. But in the future, if you want a joke to land, it needs time to coast on down the runway and land where it's supposed to be. So that's the two things to work on, is to get more twists into your speeches and also to pace so that you can let the joke sink in. But congratulations. Thank you for sharing with us your having to pee story.